Brock Lesnar came back, guys. Not with a warning, not even with a countdown, not even with weeks of mysterious vignettes that WWE loves to do. He just showed up, walked into Oba Femi's open challenge, and destroyed him. And that right there tells you everything about this episode of Monday Night Raw. This was the May 18th edition of Monday Night Raw, the final Raw before Saturday night's main event, and WWE was clearly moving fast. Stories had to advance, matches had to be set, problems had to become bigger problems. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu move closer to tribal combat. Seth Rollins tries to stand up to the Vision. Braun Breaker ends the night looking like an uncontrollable missile. And Brock Lesnar returns to remind everybody that no matter how many new monsters WWE builds, there is still one beast who can walk through the door and change the entire conversation in just one fell swoop. Welcome to the Tea Drop, where the brew is strong and the takes are stronger. So today we are breaking down the top 3 moments from Monday Night Raw, May 18, 2026. So let's get to it. Coming in at number 3, we have Seth Rollins defeating Austin Theory. But the win is not the full story. The real story is everything surrounding that match. Seth Rollins came into this Raw with a problem. That problem was the Vision. And instead of running away from it, Seth decided to run straight at it. This is what made this version of Seth feel a little different. This was not just the flashy Seth Rollins who dances, laughs, ha 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 ha, and plays to the crowd. This felt like a man who knew he was walking into a trap and still decided to step forward anyway. At first, Seth wanted Braun Breaker. And honestly, that made sense, obviously. Braun has been positioned as the dangerous muscle of the Vision. He is not just another guy in the group. He is the weapon. He is the human wrecking ball. He is the person who sent Seth away and started taking over the Vision. But Paul Heyman and the Vision do what they always do. They move the pieces around. Instead of Seth getting Braun Breaker, Seth gets Austin Theory. And that is important because it shows you this group is not just about physical dominance. They are also about manipulation. Heyman is moving the board. Austin Theory is being used as a pawn. Logan Paul, as always, is lurking. Braun Breaker is being protected like the final boss of the group, and Seth Rollins is stuck in the middle of all of it. This match itself had the kind of chaos you would expect. Logan Paul gets involved, brass knuckles come into play, Austin Theory gets opportunity after opportunity to steal the match, but it's Seth survives the interference, turns the momentum around, and hits the pedigree to get the win. So on paper, Seth Rollins wins. But here's the problem. The Vision still wins the moment because after the match, the numbers game catches up to Seth as it always does when it comes to the Vision. Logan Paul attacks. The Street Profits come out to help. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford try to even the odds. For a second, it looked like Seth finally has backup. And then Braun Breaker arrives. That is when the entire scene changes tremendously. Braun does not just enter the fight. He explodes into it. He cuts through people. He wipes out Montez Ford. He drops Seth Rollins. And by the time security gets involved, the Vision has already made its point. This is the part that is important. Seth won the match. The Vision won the final image of the night. And in wrestling, the final image is everything. Because fans remember who was standing tall. Fans remember who looked dangerous. Fans remember who ended the segment in control. And on this Raw, the Vision ended in control. That is why this is the number 3 moment of the night. Because WWE is building something serious here. The Street Profits are now fully tangled in this war. Seth Rollins has a fight he cannot handle alone. Braun Breaker looks like the most dangerous part of the entire group. And Paul Heyman is still playing chess while everybody else is throwing punches. Now my take on this is that Seth Rollins got the victory, but the Vision controlled the battlefield. And Braun Breaker is quickly becoming the problem nobody can solve right now. At number 2, we have the Bloodline story escalating again. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu are now headed towards tribal combat at Clash of the Castle. And let's be honest, when WWE uses the words tribal combat, that is not just another match announcement. This means family business. It also means violence. It means legacy. That means the rules are different because the issue is bigger than the wins and losses. The story picks up after Jacob Fatu destroyed Roman Reigns and the Usos the week before. Roman wanted control. Roman wanted acknowledgement. Roman wanted to remind everybody that he still runs the family. But Jacob Fatu is not the kind of man who falls in line. This is what makes this story work. The bloodline has always been about control. Roman controls the room. Roman controls the emotions. Roman also controls the family. Roman controls the consequences. He pretty much controls everything at this point. But Jacob Fatu feels like the one man Roman cannot control though. And on this Raw, that becomes even clearer as day. Roman wanted Fatu dealt with. Adam Pearce was involved. The Usos got pulled into the situation. Jimmy tried to talk sense into Fatu. Jay was ready to fight. And Fatu was not listening to any of them. This is the whole bloodline story in one image. Jimmy wants the family to survive. Jay is tired of playing games. Roman wants power, and Jacob Fatu wants war. Fatu attacked. The Usos fought back. Roman got involved. Eventually, Roman and the Usos managed to get the upper hand. They tied Fatu in the ropes. For a moment, it looked like Roman had regained control of the situation. But that is the thing about Jacob Fatu. Even when he is trapped, he does not feel defeated. This is when Fatu challenged Roman Reigns to tribal combat. And Roman accepts. Now that is huge because tribal combat is not about who is the better wrestler. It is about who can survive the violence of the family they helped create. For Roman, this is dangerous. Roman is at his strongest when he can control the environment. He knows how to slow things down. He knows how to manipulate people. He knows how to make everyone in the ring play his game. But Jacob Fatu does not play Roman's game. He crashes through it. He is not asking for a seat at the table. He's not even trying to earn Roman's approval. He is not begging for anything. He is not begging for acknowledgement. He is not walking into the room like the table should have been his all along. And that is why this match is going to be important, because Roman Reigns has been the measuring stick for the entire Bloodline saga. He has been the final boss. He's been the head of the table, the man everyone eventually has to answer to one day or another. But Jacob Fatu feels like a different kind of threat. He is not even trying to out-politic Roman. He is not trying to out-scheme Roman. He is not trying to physically destroy Roman. And that changes the energy completely. This is not just Roman trying to regain control. This is Roman being forced into a fight where the control may not matter. My take on this is Roman wanted Jacob Fatu punished. Jacob Fatu turned that punishment into tribal combat. And now Roman Reigns has to step into a match where the only thing he depends on most, control, may be completely useless. That is why this is the number 2 moment of the night. And now we get to the number 1 moment of the night. Brock Lesnar returns. This is the moment everybody was talking about after Raw. Oba Femi came out for his open challenge, and that alone already had weight because Oba has been being presented as one of WWE's next great monsters. He has the size, he has the power, he has the aura, he has the presence of someone WWE clearly wants to take seriously. So when Oba Femi issues an open challenge, you are expecting somebody to step up and test themselves. Maybe a rising star, maybe even a veteran, maybe someone trying to make a name for themselves. But instead, Brock Lesnar shows up. And the entire feeling of that segment changes just like that. Because Brock Lesnar does not walk into a segment like normal challenger. He walks in like a damn freaking disaster. There's no negotiations for him. There's no long speeches or no dramatic explanations. Brock gets into the ring and destroys Oba Femi with multiple F5s. And that visual alone is massive because Oba Femi was supposed to be the monster. Then Brock Lesnar walked in and reminded everyone that WWE still has the Beast. This is what made this moment hit. It was not just a return itself. It was who Brock returned against. This was not just Brock destroying random mid-carder. This was Brock walking up to one of WWE's biggest future monster project and saying, "You are not ready until you survive me the real way." Or again, I don't know. He already beat him once, so I don't know what you would think about that. But anyway, that is the story. Oba Femi is the future. Brock Lesnar is the standard. And now the future has to survive the standard again. That is why this can actually be good for Oba depending on where WWE takes it next. Because yes, getting wiped out by Brock Lesnar can make someone look small. But standing across from Brock Lesnar can also make someone feel important. Brock does not need to return to meaningless business. So if WWE is putting Oba Femi in Brock's path, that tells me they see Oba as someone worth testing at the highest possible physical level multiple times at this point. And then you add Paul Heyman into the mix again. Heyman comes in with the paperwork. The match is not just chaotic. It is not just a random attack. It is all business at the end of the day. It is strategy for these two. It is already being moved towards Clash in Italy. That is classic Heyman. Smile through the destruction, act like nothing is his fault, then reveal that somehow, some way, the contract was already ready. And now Clash in Italy has a monster fight. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi is simple, but it works. It worked before. It'll work again. It does not need a complicated explanation. It is beast versus beast. Old monster versus new monster. Established destroyer versus future destroyer. And for Oba Femi, this is another big test for him in his career. Because if he gets destroyed and never recovers after it, then this was just Brock being Brock. But if Oba survives again, pushes Brock, or even finds a way to stand tall at any point in this feud, then this could be the moment where Oba goes from prospect to a made man. That is a big opportunity to have. And this is why this is the clear #1 moment for Raw. My take on this, though, is that Oba Femi was being built as WWE's next monster. Then Brock Lesnar came back and said, before you call yourself the monster, you need to survive the final form of the beast. Because he already beat him once, so maybe this is a higher level version of him. This is a money story. This is a high engaging story. And that is exactly why Brock Lesnar returning and destroying Oba Femi takes the #1 stop. Now, as always, before we close, we have to shout out on a few memorable mentions. Finn Balor defeating JD McDonough in a street fight was one of the stronger matches of the night. It had weapons, chaos, tables, Dominic Mysterio getting involved, and Finn finally putting JD away with the coup de grace while JD was trapped in a trash can. It was nasty. It was also creative, and that was the kind of match that gave their issues a real payoff. So Ruka challenging Becky Lynch was another important setup moment. Becky refusing to make it a title match because Sol had not earned that, yet actually makes sense. But the bigger takeaway is that WWE is clearly interested in putting Sol around bigger stars, which is important because even when Sol does not win, she is being positioned in spots that make her feel important. And we also have to mention Paige and Brie Bella again, retaining the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Liv Morgan's interference backfired, and that kept the champions moving forward while still keeping tensions alive in the division. So even outside the top 3, this Raw had some movement. Not everything, as always, was perfect. Not every segment hit the same level, but WWE gave us enough major story progression to talk about. So those are my top 3 moments from Monday Night Raw, May 18th. Number 3, Seth Rollins beats Austin Theory, but the Vision ends the night standing tall. Number 2, Roman Reigns accepts Jacob Fatu Tribal Combat Challenge. And number 1, Brock Lesnar returns and destroys Oba Femi. This episode felt like WWE speeding towards 2 different destinations at the same time. The first one being Saturday Night Main Event, and the other one is being Clash of Italy following after that one. And while Brock Lesnar's return was clearly the biggest shock of the night, the Roman and Fatu story might be the most dangerous story moving forward. But now I want to hear from you. Was Brock Lesnar's return the obvious number one? Is Jacob Fatu actually the biggest threat Roman Reigns has ever faced inside the bloodline? And is Braun Breaker becoming the scariest part of the division? Drop your top 3 moments in the comments below. And as always, if the tea hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.